Here is a thing the big box store will never tell you. The mower with the biggest number on the box is very often the first one I see die. It rolls into my shop in June, 3 summers old, and it is finished. So let me tell you, the 3 mowers I watch good folks carry in dead, year after year, and the 2 I have almost never had to fix. My name is Alex. Around here folks call me Alex the Mower. I have run a small engine shop for going on 26 years. I have taken apart more lawn mowers than I could ever count, thousands of them. And I want to tell you something before you spend $1 this year. Spring is my busy season. The grass wakes up, the phone starts ringing off the hook, and by the middle of June, my shop floor looks like a graveyard. Rows of mowers lined up along the wall, some of them only 2 or 3 years old. Good people brought them in. They spent their money. They did nothing wrong. They just bought the wrong machine. Let me give you one from this past June. A young fellow, first house, brought me a mower he was proud of. Bought it new, big power number on the box, 2 summers on it. The deck had cracked clean through, and the engine had a name I could not order a single part for. He asked me what it would cost to fix. I had to tell him there was no fix. He had spent good money on a machine built to be thrown away, and nobody had ever told him such a thing was even possible. He stood in my shop and he was upset, and I did not blame him one bit. That conversation is why I am talking to you right now. I know that feeling, because I did it myself once. Long time ago, before I knew any better, I bought the cheap one, $49 on sale. I thought I was being smart. I thought a mower was just a mower. 2 summers later, the deck cracked right down the middle, and the pull cord would not catch anymore. I paid a man to haul it away. Then I went and bought a real one, so I paid twice. That is the thing about the cheap mower. It is not cheap. You just pay for it slow, a little at a time, until one day it quits and you start over. Here is what all those dead machines taught me. A mower is not the engine. Everybody stares at the engine. How many cc? How much power? That is the wrong thing to look at. The engine is the part that almost never fails. What fails is the deck, the wheels, the cheap plastic, and the little parts you cannot buy when one breaks. Nobody thinks about any of that in the store. I think about it every single day of my life. Quick word before I go further. The old methods my family uses. There is more of it than fits in any one video. I gathered the whole of it into a book you can buy in our pinned comment below. The book is the long version. If you want it, it is there. I will not mention it again. So back to my shop floor. Back to those dead mowers lined up along the wall. If you took every machine I have ever scrapped and asked me what killed it, I could sort the whole pile into just a few groups. The same mistakes, over and over, year after year. And once you see the groups, you can never unsee them. You will walk into that store and know exactly which mowers to leave right where they sit. Let me lay it out plain for you. 3 mowers you should not buy in 2026. It does not matter how good the price tag looks. And then 2 that I would put my own money on, that I have put my own money on. Because I run one of each at my own house, and I have for years. But first you have to understand why the cheap ones die young. Because if you do not understand the why, some shiny new name will fool you all over again next spring. So what is the one thing all these dead mowers have in common? Let me show you. Here is the why. And it is simple once somebody finally says it plain. A mower has to live a hard life. It lives outside. It gets rained on. It bakes in the sun. It gets slammed into tree roots and curbs and rocks hiding down in the grass. It shakes itself apart just a little more every single time you run it. A good mower is built to take that beating for 10, 15, 20 years. A bad mower is built to survive the warranty, and not one day longer. The companies know this. They are not dumb. They build 2 kinds of machines. One kind to sell you on price, one kind to actually last. And then they set them on the same shelf, 10 feet apart, so you cannot tell them apart. That right there is the trick. That is the whole game they play. Let me give you the 3 tells, the 3 things that mark a mower for an early death. The first tell is the deck. The deck is that big shell the blade spins inside. On a cheap mower, it is made of plastic. They call it poly. They tell you it will never rust. And that part is true. It will not rust. It will do something worse instead. It will crack. It will warp in the sun. It will go soft right where the blade bolt mounts. And one day, the whole thing splits and you are done. There is no fixing a cracked deck. I cannot weld plastic back to strong. When the deck goes, the mower goes. A good machine has a steel deck, and the very best have a thick cast aluminum deck. It costs more up front. It is the single most important part of the whole machine, and it is the part nobody in the store even looks at. The second tell is the engine name, or the missing name. Flip the mower around and read the engine. On a good machine, you will see a name you know. Honda, Briggs & Stratton, Kohler. Those names mean parts. 10 years from now, I can still order a carburetor, a pull cord, a gasket for any of those. On a cheap mower, the engine wears a made-up name you have never heard, or it has no name at all. When that engine quits, and it will, I cannot get one single part for it. It is a throwaway. You did not buy a mower. You bought a 2-year rental that you are not allowed to give back. The third tell is the battery. Now, do not hear me wrong. I love battery mowers. I am going to point you to a great one in a minute, but there is a trap set here. Some companies build a battery mower on a dead end. The battery only fits that one mower and nothing else. 3 years from now, the company drops the whole line, the battery vanishes off the shelf, and you cannot buy a fresh one for any amount of money. I see it already. Folks bring me a nice-looking machine and ask for a new battery, and I have to look them in the eye and tell them it does not exist anymore. Perfect mower. No way to power it. So here's the counterintuitive truth. Write this one down. The cheapest mower in the store is the most expensive mower you can buy, because you buy it 2 or 3 times over. And that loud, expensive-looking machine with the big power number on the side is very often the same cheap guts wearing a fancier shell. You are not buying power. You are buying one thing only. You are buying whether or not the machine can be fixed. Buy the one you can fix. That is the whole secret. Now let me name names. All right, here are the 3 to leave sitting on the shelf in 2026. Number 1, the cheap plastic deck push mower. The one under about $250 with the poly deck. You know exactly the ones I mean. They stack them by the front door in April. Bright colors, big stickers screaming low price. That deck is the problem, and I already told you why. It cracks, it warps, it cannot be fixed. The folks over at Consumer Reports have been saying the same thing for years now. The metal deck lasts, the plastic one does not. If the only mower you can afford has a plastic deck, I understand, money is money, and I am not going to shame anybody. But walk in knowing you are buying 3 or 4 years, not 15. Number 2, the mystery engine gas mower. This is the off-brand machine wearing an engine name nobody on earth has ever heard of. It might look just like a good one. Same shape, same wheels, $20 cheaper, but there are no parts behind it. When the carburetor gums up, and every gas carburetor gums up if you leave old fuel sitting in it over winter, I lift the hood and there is nothing I can order. A $10 part I cannot buy turns the whole mower into scrap. Stick to a Honda, a Briggs & Stratton, or a Kohler engine. That one rule by itself will save you more money than everything else I tell you today. Number 3, the bargain big box riding mower. The cheapest rider on the whole lot. Thin stamped deck, one little single cylinder engine. And here is the part most folks never find out until it is too late. That machine got thrown together fast, in the back, by whoever was on shift, and there is no real dealer standing behind it. When it breaks in year 2, and the drive on those tends to go early, you are on your own. You will wait 6 weeks for a part, and pay to haul it there and haul it back. If you truly need a rider, buy it from a real mower dealer. Yes, it costs a little more. The dealer built it right, set it up right, and will fix it fast. Because to them, you are a customer with a name. On a big box rider, you are nobody's customer the second you drive it off the lot. Now for the good news. Here are the 2 I trust, the 2 I would spend my own hard money on today, because I already have. The first one is a steel deck, self-propelled gas mower with a name brand engine on it. The kind of machine a Toro recycler is. Steel deck, a Briggs or a Honda engine bolted to it, self-propelled, so it walks itself up the hill and all you do is steer. You are looking at somewhere around $400 to $500. I know that feels like a mountain of money next to the cheap one, but I have 20-year-old Toros roll through my shop that still run like the day they were built, with nothing done to them but a fresh blade, a new cord, and a carburetor cleaned out. Do the math with me. $400 spread over 20 years is $20 a year. The cheap one is $49 a year and a headache every spring. And here is the one trick that makes any gas mower last. At the end of the season, run the tank dry or pour a little fuel stabilizer in the gas. Almost every dead gas mower on my floor died from old fuel, not from old age. That one habit is worth more than any brand name you could pick. I mean it. Fresh fuel in the fall is the difference between a mower that dies at year 4 and one that runs at year 20. It is that simple, and it is nearly free. The second one is a battery mower on a big platform. And that is the key word right there. Big platform. I am talking Ego, or Ryobi, or Milwaukee, brands that make dozens of tools that all share the very same battery. Buy into one of those, and your mower battery also runs your string trimmer, your leaf blower, your drill. And when one battery finally wears out in 5 or 6 years, there are 10 fresh ones sitting on the shelf to choose from, because those companies are not going anywhere. A good one, like an Ego self-propelled, runs around $500 to $700 with the battery included. No fuel, no carburetor to gum up, no pull cord to yank on a cold morning. You push a button and you go. For most yards under half an acre, it is the easiest machine I can point a person to. And here is the trick with these. Buy the kit with the biggest battery you can afford and store that battery inside the house, not out in a freezing shed. Deep cold and hard heat are about the only two things that will kill these packs before their time. So let me pull this all the way back now, because this is bigger than a mower. It really is. A lawnmower is one of the last few things a regular person is still supposed to keep for 20 years. My grandfather had one mower his whole grown life. He cleaned it. He sharpened the blade every spring. He handed it down to my dad. That is how it used to be for everybody. Somewhere along the way, the companies did the math and figured out they make more money selling you a cheap one every 3 years than a good one every 20. So they filled the front of the store with machines built to fail politely, right after the warranty runs out. That is not an accident. That is the plan, drawn up in a boardroom, and you were never told. You do not have to play that game. You spend a little more, one time. You keep the fuel fresh, or you keep the battery warm. You sharpen the blade once a year, which costs about $8 at my counter, or 10 minutes with a file in your own garage. And that machine will serve you for 2 decades. The person who buys smart one time spends less over a lifetime than the person who buys cheap over and over and over. I have watched it happen 1,000 times from behind my counter. The folks who come see me every 3 years for another cheap mower have spent far more in the end than the folks I only see once a decade for a simple tune-up. Here is the hard truth I earned the slow way, one dead machine at a time. It is the same in most things, not just mowers. Cheap is the most expensive word there is. The bill just shows up later, and it shows up bigger. A good tool, bought once, is one of the last honest deals a person can still get in this world. So buy the machine you can fix. Buy the engine you can still get parts for in 10 years. Buy into the battery family that will still be around when you need the next pack. Do those 3 things and you will not see me nearly as often. And I am telling you that straight against my own shop and my own wallet. Because it is simply the truth, and you deserve to hear it. So here is what I want you to do tonight. Do not buy a thing yet. Just walk out to your garage or your shed and take a good look at the mower you already own. Tip it up on its side. Look at the deck. Is it steel or is it plastic? Look at the engine. Do you know the name on it? If it is a good one, then you are set. So take care of it and it will take care of you. If it is one of the 3 I just warned you about, well, now you know. And next time you will buy once and buy it right. Then come down to the comments and tell me. Tell me what mower you run and how many years you have had it going. I read every single one. I want to know which old machines are still out there turning, because the good ones are out there by the thousands, and the people who own them are proud of them, and they should be. Next time, I'm going to show you the one 5-minute thing you can do to your mower every spring that adds years to its life, and almost nobody ever does it. It is not the blade, it is not the oil. It is one small part hiding underneath the machine that gets ignored until it is far too late. I will show you exactly where it sits and how to fix it for about $4, with one small tool most of you already have in a drawer. Do that one thing, and you may never need to see a fellow like me at all. Until then, keep your fuel fresh, keep your blades sharp, and remember, buy it once and buy it right.